Hey guys, Art 17 here. Good morning, and we are in week 8. This is the halfway mark. This is the half of the semester. So if you haven't sent me a lot of work, please do. I'm going to be sending also after I receive your midterm presentation this week, which is due. Here we are. And I will send you an update on your midterm grade. And of course, this is calculated by how many assignments you completed, what grade you received on them out of the possible assignments that could be achieved and completed during week 8. So look for that next week after I receive midterm presentations. I mentioned midterm presentations last week. Start heads up on that and get an idea of what you want to do, and I discussed it and explained it as well. So I'll do that again now. It's a 5-minute PowerPoint or Google Slides or maybe a video, 5-minute long, by how you can read it at a normal speed and view the images. A 5-minute long presentation on either an artist, an art style, an art movement or technique, or something in art history, something about art. Whether it's the artist itself or what they do or what a particular group of artists do, like performance art, tattoo art, cake making, nail art, costume, jewelry, makeup. I said makeup. Anime, or drawing and painting and watercolor, acrylic oils, or charcoal, or somebody else that does something. Um, Performance art is a good one, and various art forms that maybe we're not doing in this class. It's okay because it's open to any art form: abstract, expressionism, surrealism, impressionism. The whole 9 yards. Pop art. Look up art movements. Look up what they are. Maybe you like something and you don't know you like it, and you want to present on that, or a particular artist. Doesn't have to be a famous artist. Could be somebody that is less famous, or maybe just local. All right. And are you going to show 5 or more images of their work, or the work related to the subject you're talking about that isn't your artwork? But you will include one piece of your artwork that you did that is relating to your subject. So there's one piece of yours and 5 or more images of other images that aren't your work that relate to your subject or describe it, or showing an artist's work, or the actual art style or technique, or what the movement was. So you're going to show several different artists in an art movement, like pop art or something, or impressionism, surrealism, abstract. You'll show several artworks on that, unless you're focusing on a particular artist. Okay? 5-minute long, because you're going to time yourself reading it at a normal speed and viewing the artwork or the images you're showing. But include your artwork. Don't forget that part. Include your own artwork on this, one piece at least. Now, it can be something that you're doing out of class already in an artistic way as well. So let's get thinking on this if you haven't already. It's due this week by the following Sunday. So end of the week, Sunday night, midnight, okay? Not into to the next week. I won't accept them. All right, so I'm going to send an email out to everybody about it as well. Check that out. And let's talk about assignment number 14, full face portrait. And I have some examples here. Full face means they're facing you, okay? These ones that are twisted to the side slightly are a 3/4 view. So I prefer not to do that right now because we're going to do that later in week 15. Not week 15, week 12. Anyway, the full face would be one facing you, direct on. So, the eyes are not twisted, relatively. This is still full face, although she's sort of twisted just a little, but not by much. And the rest of these more full face. Okay, what I want you to notice, and I'm going to have a video on this, so look at that, is that you're going to sort of draw a cross on the face so you know where the middle is and the eyes are going to be set. Eyes are typically in the middle of the head. If you look at how much room there is, the top of the head's probably up here in the hair. To here, from here to here, that's about halfway. So don't draw them really high up in the head. Excuse me. And don't crop off the forehead so that there's a small area here and a large area here. So you'll see that. Typically it's kind of like an egg shape with maybe the jaw pooching out slightly. So, or at least a ball shape here with an extension down here. Okay, but it sort of ends up being an egg shape depending how much skin you have on the lower cheeks here, or the jowls they call them, I think, and the jaw. Yeah, I mean, various people have different faces because of the skin draped over. So maybe there's more skin and muscle than someone else has a thinner face. Somebody has maybe a fatter face. But typically this is kind of a round area up here, and then it kind of dips down into the chin, which is more coming to a rounded point right there. Okay, and then eyes in the middle. There's typically a eye space length in between the eyes. So eye length from corner to corner, then another eye length in between the eyes, eye length here, and typically, again, that's my favorite word, relatively speaking, you have an eye space on the side of the face too, to the end of the head, skull, skin, over skull. So you have that area. That's like 1, 2, 3, 4, 5 different spaces that are similar, relatively. Okay. Then the nose, it could be in between the eyes and the chin, around that area. Mouth fits in between those two, but closer to the nose, as you'll notice. Top of this lip is kind of closer to that, to the nose. Bottom lip a little further away from the chin. Now you're going to work from a model. Maybe take a photo of your own face, or look in the mirror. That's what I used to do in undergrad school. Look in a mirror. Have a mirror set up next to you, and you're looking straight into it, and then you're drawing. Or you can take a photo and work from that, but if it's on your phone, it's kind of small. Not the greatest thing to be working from, but you can do it. If you want to upload in your computer and have a bigger picture, that's probably better. The other thing you want to probably do is have a single light source as opposed to light straight on the face. If the light is coming straight on the face and not from the side in a single light, you don't get much shadowing on the other side of the face. It's all lit up, and it's harder to show the darks and lights. So this face is kind of like that, except for this side has a little more shadow on it. So the light's kind of coming from that left side. Let's look at somebody else's. This is a really good drawing. But the light's coming from, again, the left side, leaving a little bit of shadow area on this side. And then you get shadow area in the part of the cheek, nose area here. wherever the face has dips and turns, and the shape of the face here is different than here, than here, than here, than here, than here. You want to represent that by the dark and light tones. That's what you're showing by doing that. Okay. Again, there's a single light source coming from one direction, not straight on the face. Now you can do it straight on the face. It's just harder to show. This is kind of flat here. It's a great expression. I mean, you can show expression. I think maybe for this, just have a normal sort of non-expressional face. So we just map out what eyes would look like when nobody's scrunching up their eyes or making a scrunched up mouth and all that stuff. It might work better, although that's a really cute one. Some of the more expression-ish faces have sort of a shadowing going on. Certainly on the eyes here and here. It might be the light is sort of coming maybe from the top right here. Or no, top here. I'm not really sure. But they do have a lot of dark areas that are showing the shape. And certainly the lips in this one are really, really, I mean, if you want to put tears in, that's okay. As long as the rest of the face has a lot of shadowing and proportion, that's okay. You want to tilt the head slightly, but not to the side. I mean, well, it's tilted to the side, but not twisted to the side, because that's a 3/4. This is still full on, full face. The light's coming from the right side here, top right. So this side has some darker tones in it. And I know they're using color there, but you have to look at stuff like that when you're looking at color and figure out how you're going to do it with graphite. Yeah, full face. This is more the 3/4, although I like the artwork on this one a lot. This is almost full face. A lot of shadowing on that one side. This looks really cool. So you decide. It doesn't have to be you. It can be somebody else, but work from a model. Don't make something up. Don't use your imagination, because you're not going to really be looking at something and trying to mimic all of the, with your graphite, all of the lights and darks, and where the proportions are. That is the practice we're doing. What are the proportions from what you're looking at, and now you're going to put it on the paper. And certainly don't do a cartoon anime face, all right? Because that's not accurate for realism. So I'd rather you didn't do that. That's a good one. So there'll be a video. Go watch that. You can get a little whimsical with hair and stuff. The features here and the hair, can be slightly abstract. This is kind of a cool way to do it, but the face is very realistic. Okay, so that's what I'm looking for. And see, again, the light coming from the side, leaving a lot of shadow area over here. Maybe a lot of shadow. It's up to you how much you want to do on that. But I'm just saying that makes for good shape. Good shadowing and areas to have dark and light tones that are going to give you a lot of shape. Otherwise, it's kind of hard to get the shape without doing that. That's kind of the line idea. Like, I think that's a pen and ink drawing, which we'll do stuff like that later. Try to smooth out, depict the skin texture. If the skin is smooth, you don't want scratchy texturing with your pencil. You want smooth texturing with your pencil. Even though they're using sort of scratchy lines here, it does work. So there's a fine line between the two. DiCaprio, I think. Again, using lines. I don't really prefer that because it's not totally accurate to, here's more smoothed out. This is more accurate skin. He doesn't have scratchy marks on his skin. He's got smooth skin relatively. Again, eyes are sort of in the middle. Okay? All right. So look at the video I'm going to provide, and we'll go from there. Get your midterm ready and send it to me by the end of the week, by Sunday night. And I'll talk about it maybe on Wednesday again. I'll send an email so nobody has any excuses here. You got plenty of notice, right? And see here, it's coming here. You have a little bit of shadowing over here to give shape. This is kind of washed out in my opinion. Skin tone, everybody has a tone to their skin. Nobody has skin as white as paper. And it's very rare if it is, and certainly I don't think anyone, I've never seen it. Also with eyes and stuff, not doing it in this one, but the white of the eyes, yeah, a little bit right there. White of the eyes have a shadowing on the corners. It makes them sort of round looking and glassy. Also, they have a reflection mark in them, typically. That's the little white area that you can erase out or just actually leave out. It usually is right over the iris and part of the pupil. That kind of makes the eye look a little glassy too, because there's a light source and it usually ends up shining on the eye, like right there. And then the other white part can be white in part of it, but then gradually getting a little tone as it goes into the corners. And possibly there's a shadow from the eyelid. And remember what we did with eyes and all your learning with that. Because there's more of the iris covered up by the top lid than the bottom. And sometimes they meet, sometimes it's slightly covered on the bottom. But it's not as much as the top. So just look at that. Notice that out of your model, whatever you're using for your model, your face or someone else's. You look at somebody, don't make it up. And certainly don't draw me a cartoon face, okay? All right.